To read a first story of Betsy Ross. So it's a biography, and this is going to be one of your summer reading challenges, the biography. So it is about Betsy Ross, the story of our American flag. All right, here we go. Have you ever wondered how America got its first flag? Some people believe that a woman named Betsy Ross made it. Read on to learn all about her famous story. Betsy Ross lived from 1752 to 1836. How long is that? She may have sewn the first American flag. This is her story. Betsy was born in Pennsylvania in 1752. Pennsylvania was one of the 13 colonies ruled by England at that time. America had not yet become a country. Betsy had 16 brothers and sisters. There were lots of chores to do. Betsy helped with the sewing. Not all children went to school in those days, but Betsy did. She learned to read and write. She also learned how to sew. Betsy was talented with the needle and thread. Many people say she won prizes for her work. Betsy went to work in an upholsterer's shop. There she met John Ross. John and Betsy got married. Later, they opened their own shop. So, are you wondering what an upholsterer is? Well, they fix rugs, curtains, and umbrellas. Today, upholsterers mainly make covers for sofas and chairs. So if you have a little rip in your chair, your sofa, you can take your chair pad or sofa section in there, and then they fix it, and then hopefully it's good as new. So they bought their own shop. But it was a difficult time. A war had started because the colonies did not like England's rules. John joined the army to fight for freedom. The colonies formed an army to fight against England. Betsy's husband joined. So in this book, they also have little blurbs. So that's what I'm reading after I read this. I'm reading the little information tab there also. Betsy decided to run the shop by herself. One day in 1776, General George Washington and 2 other men met with Betsy at her shop. George Washington was not yet the president. At that time, he was in charge of the colony's army. George Washington wanted a flag made. It would show that the colonies were free from England. He asked Betsy to sew it. George Washington showed Betsy his sketch for the flag. It was square. It had 13 stripes and 13 stars, but each had 6 points. How many does ours have? Betsy had different ideas. She said the flag should be rectangle, not a square. She thought a rectangular shape would fly better in the wind. She shared her ideas with George Washington. Betsy also thought the stars should have 5 points instead of 6. She said a 5-pointed star was easier to make. Betsy folded the cloth in a special way. Using her scissors, she made a 5-pointed star with just one snip. The men liked Betsy's ideas. They needed the flag as soon as possible. They asked Betsy to get started on it right away. The men made sure Betsy had supplies. 1776 flag. Betsy worked hard to make the flag. She sewed a rectangle with 13 stripes. In one corner, she placed a blue square In the square, she sewed 13 stars. The stars formed a circle. So here's the 1776 flag with the 13 stars, and here's today's flag. What do our stars, how many are in our flag, and what do they stand for? On June 14, 1777, the design of the first American flag was made official. Years later, Betsy loved to tell her grandchildren how she made the first flag. In 1870, Betsy's grandson gave a speech. He said that Betsy had made the first flag. No one knows for sure that this is true, but people still like to tell the story of Betsy Ross and her flag. You can visit Betsy Ross's house in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And that is the end of the story of our flag and Betsy Ross, who made it. So I hope you're staying cool. I know the weather's been super hot. And next week, I will be reading another book that is in our summer reading challenge that you can mark off. So I will see you next week. Have a great weekend.